Good morning. Oh yeah, let me get a raffle going. Good morning, Jamie Jin. Or is it Jaime? It's probably Jaime. Maybe it's Jamie. Give me a minute to get this going and I'll give you guys an update on what I'm working on this morning. Jamie Jin, not Jaime? Alright. Hold on, gotta log into the game so I can figure out what I'm giving away to you guys. So I'm starting early today, as I do occasionally. I actually started at about 1, but I had a list of things to do before actually getting into development. But this morning I've got one goal, which is I'm going to finish up the PvP area in Tartarus. I'm going to do some other stuff, like finally put down some onks in the new section and turn on the slime spawns. Try and get in early today, get an early start today, because tomorrow I am off to a music festival. ACL Fest tomorrow. Let me see who's on my list tomorrow. I still need to do some listening. Friday's the day I've least prepared for. Actually, no, I did do Friday, so I'm going to, let's see. Good morning. There's the schedule for tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to, let's see, starting off with the Amazons, then Aaron Ray, then Sam Fender, and then Scary Pool Party, Black Pistol Fire, Tyler Childers, King Princess, Ways Blood, The Raconteurs, Jenny Lewis, and then, yes, Guns N' Roses. Oh yes. I actually may just like go to Guns N' Roses so I can tell Maxine that I saw them before they died. They kind of feel like my see them before they die band for the year. Every year there's like a band or two where you just like see them and you're like, yeah, that's probably the last time they'll make a tour. So they're my see them before they die band. Sometimes they're younger than others. I was going to Amy Winehouse and 4 years ago or whatever, she was doing the ACL, like one of the headliners, and I'd named her my See Her Before She Dies, and it was really sad because she died. Like, I just made a big Facebook post about that as my See It Before They Die band. It was Amy Winehouse this year, and then she died before ACL Fest, so I didn't get to see her. Let's see. What, Scooby-Doo? Thank you, Scooby-Doo. Thank you for starting me off right. Yeah, Guns N' Roses this year will be the see them before they're gone. Although I say that, and I think I just saw that a friend who plays the game just went to their concert for their birthday, and they played for like 3.5 hours. They of course were really going because Shooter Jennings opened for Guns N' Roses. Hey, thank you very much, Sean Butts. So let me figure out the prize, then I'll get into some development stuff here. I'm gonna go with some Halloween themed stuff, if you don't mind. Let's see. Oh, what to do. How about if I do the ornate scythe? That'll be the first one. Let me get that up. All right, there we go. Yeah, ACL is Austin City Limits. That's like a music thing that's gone on here in Austin forever. And of course, it's Austin City Limits, but really it's owned and managed. Austin City Limits Music Festivals managed by C3 Productions, which is like they do all the big concerts. Like from Lollapalooza to wherever else. So yeah, it is not a small deal. If you look at that schedule, I think you'll see like tomorrow's headliners is Guns N' Roses. But then you start getting into like Billie Eilish. Yeah, Billie Eilish isn't even a headliner. This is for tomorrow, like Billie Eilish and Metric, 21 Savage, The Cure, Childish Gambino. That's tomorrow. Although, as always, I'm usually more excited about the early day people like Mr. Wives and Sigrid and some others. And then Sunday, that's one I still need to pick my calendar for, but I've got Casey Musgraves, but other bands are like Lizzo, Third Eye Blind, Cardi B, Mumford and Sons is the closing band. So, some big names. Rebulation. But also, I'm old. I take a lawn chair and sit at the back and drink beer, listen to music. So, that's how I roll. So, getting into what I'm actually here to work on. So, this space probably looks familiar. What isn't going to look familiar is that's the space you guys saw me work on last time. So I had this set up that it was going to be a PvP zone over here, and I just moved over the maze, and I'd rotated the maze 90 degrees or 180 degrees, and that felt kind of lame. So just this morning, I went and deleted all that stuff. I'm going to hide the Battle Royale stuff that I've got set up down there so we can actually see the space. And I'll adjust where the spawns come out for the Battle Royale later. But that is a Battle Royale Satyrs. This space is going to have the PvP flag on it. So if you enter here, you'll only be able to enter if you're in open play mode. And when you enter the space, you'll be flagged PvP. But anyway, so I'm redesigning the maze area around it to make it a little more PvP friendly and a little more focused on the center. The other one I just kind of built organically and just kind of wandered through the maze and This one I'm doing a little differently. Let's see. Yeah, this one I'm doing differently because I want it to feel like everything is towards, like moving towards center. I want to have like some clear paths, so I'm gonna redo it. So again, this will be my morning sand raking. Oh, and this is, for those who don't know, this is what it looks like in the editor when you actually turn on the lights. It's more like this. When you actually get down into the level of it, it's more like this. But that slows me down for working. So let's see. Gotta change a few settings here. But anyway, so the idea for this space, again, I had just been using the maze over here, but I felt that was just a little too lame to have the exact same maze, and also this maze isn't really made for PvP. So I'm redoing the maze completely from scratch. And then I'll turn back on the spawners, the Battle Royale stuff that's in here. Because the idea, the design for this is, again, a maze which has a focus of outside to inside with some like a passageway loop kind of around in the middle. It's kind of a maze within a maze, but then also the Battle Royale, if you get to the middle, there's going to be a few ore nodes that I'll drop in the middle that are tier 6. It'll be a cluster of like probably 4 of them or 6 of them that will respawn quickly. But then there's also the Battle Royale that'll be basically the toughest Battle Royale in the game. That'll be Satyr mobs spawning, charging the center. That's the same, there's a Battle Royale that I have set up that I plan on doing for this one over here. But I have not turned that on yet just because I felt it needed more tuning. I'm going to try to get it tuned here on this one this morning before I have to go to my music concert tomorrow. And I got to work out some kinks immediately. Oh, that's right, I think I have these set to a snap distance of 8. Or 12. Are they 12? I think they're 10 actually. I think 10 was the magic sauce I was using. Which means I need to, oh geez. Yeah, these things are 11 long. Why is that snapping more than 10? let's see what I was doing over here. Yeah, so just 10. Why is that not working? And this one should be off by 5. Okay. There we go. So that's my starting pieces. And I'm going to change out the texture on these guys as well. Any sales today? Let's see. I'll do the same one I had up yesterday. I already sent out the ones I had from yesterday, so I have not logged to check to see if I have any new emails. Great. Somehow I have 9 emails. I cleared out my emails last night, and I have 9 new emails this morning. I guess that's good, because that means maybe people bought stuff. You guys don't need to see the crap over there. Alright, so let's see. So now I'm going to build. Rather than building, the last time I built outside in, this time I'm going to be building inside out. I want to design, make sure the space feels good for combat. Oh, I already screwed up. Oh no, I didn't screw up. I screwed up one place. Get that organized. There we go. Okay, maybe I did screw up. Hold on. Sorry, it's really good to get really important to get a really good start. So you don't have to keep redoing crap. Let's see, negative 15. Okay, so now I gotta start right there. You guys ready? Do I ever sleep? I do. I actually go to bed fairly early. Like I was in bed before 9 last night. I'm trying to actually stay up later. But I always seem to wake up early. Did I mention that the cannons... So if they are still calling, then I apparently fixed the wrong cannon. I just did a search for a cannon that was a deco, but I may have got the wrong one. I will have to go and look and see what the cannon you have is. Make that 10 mil. Awesome. That's what I love hearing. It's the one from the store. Alright, well, let me go fix that right now while you guys watch. Canon. Home Deco's Canon 3-pack. And then the Canon balls. Alright, I'm just going to buy those guys. Check. And you guys can't see what I'm doing. Canon. Soda Canon Deco. That sure seems pretty easy. Yep, that is a different Canon than the one I fixed. This is one of those silly things I need to go smack some people again. But yeah, this Canon where someone spent the time to go make low poly collision for it, and really they should just be doing that, generating a convex hull for it, because it's both cheaper and like way faster. And this also guarantees you're not gonna have the same type of like stuck problems or weird problems you might have otherwise. When did it become a 3-pack? I have no idea. I know nothing about these things. There may have been there's a 3-pack and 3-pack of cannonballs. But let's see. Let me check that sucker out. And that is all I was doing. Good, good. We all have wheels that are separate. And all casting shadows. That's glorious. That was sarcasm. Let me at least make sure yeah, they do GPU instance at least. Okay. Yeah, I'm fixing it. I'm not going to change the mesh collider on it, although I'm tempted to. But someone went through the effort to make one. But again, like, what benefit does it serve to have like these nooks and crannies in there? Or stuff underneath them. And they could have just had that. That's cheaper, faster, and safer in every way. Yeah, and they call these convex holes. It's like a rendering primitive for those who have forgotten their trig or whatever else. I forget where you learned the convex versus concave. You can remember that convex is there's never an angle where like the object is folded in on itself. There's no two lines you can draw from point to point that would cross the exterior of it. Is kind of the rule. And that it makes for an efficient collision shapes. There's some assumptions you can make if you know you're dealing with convex hulls. Concave, on the other hand, and here's the way to remember them, kind of like the stalagmite, stalactite. The stalactite hangs on tight. Well, concave is caved in on itself. Convex is not. fronts need so it can hang over the edge on ships. Maybe we'll let you do that. Alright, let me save this sucker and check it in for you, and then it will really be fixed, Cypher 1 Black. Hold on. I rarely check stuff in through Unity. Well, here, I'll show you why I rarely check stuff in through Unity. If I check it in outside, it's instantaneous. If I check it in through Unity... Doobie-doobie-doo. You guys can't see it, but I'm waiting on dialogue right now. Dialogue. Do. Waiting. I'm gonna get up and grab it. Grab vitamins. Still waiting. Yep. Cypher 1 Black should be twice the distance you were seeing it at before. And good morning, Leslie. Yep, still waiting. Again, there's dialogue you guys can't see that looks something like... Oh, I can't even show you. Again, this is the demonstration of why I don't check in through Unity. One of those things that's been an issue with Unity forever. Yep. Waiting. All right. There we go. Now it finished up. Okay. Good morning, Zadrat. Why am I suddenly slower frame rate? Come on, Unity. Yeah, it's not the stream freezing, it's my editor. Let me go see. Maybe something's chewing up. What's chewing up my CPU? Let's see. Nothing really. Yeah, just my frame rate got worse for some reason on editor. Shimizu, yes. I start my days early. Again, I work weird schedules and weird hours. But yes, I get up during the witching hours. This morning I started about 1 o'clock. Zadrat, I have not read your Discord PM. I will get there. Hey, look, it's sped up again. Okay. Now I can actually get some work done. And again, ignore the visuals you're seeing right now. This is about designing the maze. Let's see, so I want to make sure and have 4 entrances. I think I'm going to do like entrance like... it almost feels like I should be doing subtractive rather than additive. So for the PvP, or for the PvE section, yeah, I think that needs to be a little bigger. For the PvE section, I intentionally make it put up landmarks and make it easy to tell where you are. For the PvP section, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to intentionally leave it a little confusing and give you guys fewer visual clues. The maze is not going to be nearly as complicated though. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Make it so you can put deco on the gust ball field. I'd like to do some light PvP games where people stand on pillars and lob fireballs. That's interesting. Again, I'm here to just do whatever comes up this morning. I'm working on this in the background, but I'll gladly do that. Let me find gust ball, make sure I get the right one this time so I don't have another cannonball incident. Let's see, so there's ornate gust ball and double size. Let's see, so if I give you guys a gust ball field that you can put deco on, I think it's set so it can only go on the ground. Trying to think through what problems could come up if I do this. Floor, display item, display container. I'm trying to remember which one of those. I think display item is the, you can put stuff on top of it. So yes, I think display item. Stream is down. Lies. If it is, it's not me. Everything seems to be going fine here. Ooh, so that gives me some information if you can't cast area spells in those rooms. I will have to get with Undone today, but that solves the elf problem. If you can't cast those things there, then you're not going to be able. That means that there's not a nav mesh there. And that's also why they're having problems spawning. I was on my short list today, so you may have just helped me out. As for the making Troll Room decoable, that is on purpose. There are some of the rooms that are not decoable because, like, the Troll Room is freaking massive. I didn't want to put a Troll Room in there and then have, like, okay, now we're going to turn this into a massive, 1,000 decos jammed in here space. That was kind of on purpose because, again, we try to, where we can at least, we try to make it so you guys can't hang yourself too much. Alright, and this is to try and do keep things uniform here. So the part of that, the cannot cast area spells, that will definitely get fixed, which will also fix the other parts. The other, why those guys are not working correctly. And that is good information. Yeah, part of that will not get fixed. And again, if you missed my earlier chat about what I'm doing here, this is the PvP space. I did have the same walls built up in here, the same maze. I just didn't think it played as well to a PvP situation. So I'm redoing it. Yeah, Gust Ball's fixed. Let me make sure I submitted that. Oh, and you know what? I need to fix the double size, I guess, as well. I'm sure some horrible thing will come out of it, and you guys can refer back to this moment of me making a change on that at 3 a.m. as to why that happened. Alright, this time I'm not going to demonstrate how slow Unity is for that stuff, and instead I'm going to come over here. Alright, I think that's fixed. Ooh, there's more than two. I only saw the two. I saw there's a ornate double and an ornate. Those are the only ones I saw that had that in there. Let me try Gust Ball Field. Maybe there's one that's not ornate. There's a recipe for one as well that creates a Gust Ball Field craftable. Got it. Fixing that one as well. Good morning, Atreon. Okay, so you're a craftable Gust Ball Field. Why would you craft one? Go give us some money. Give us some crowns and buy one. But anyways, I did that one as well. I did the craftable one. All right, and that one's checked in. Scooby-Doo, I did not make the change. I did endlessly harass somebody until they made the change, though, so I'll take partial credit for that. And finally, it's how it should have been all along. Atreon, so I guess, yeah, we got some people coming late. So there'd been a PvP section over here that basically was a copy of this, but rotated, and then the maze had been rotated as well. I thought that was lame and didn't really fit a good PvP experience or a good Battle Royale is what we call this endless spawner wave stuff, the wave spawners. So I'm rebuilding that from scratch. I've got the wave spawners out there, just have them turned off at the moment. Yeah, you don't need to see those. But anyways, I have those hidden so they don't clutter up the screen. So I'm rebuilding the maze from scratch to feel something that is, one, a bit more confusing. Again, in PvP, I assume you guys are a little higher skill level, or at least you think you are. So I'm making the maze a little more symmetrical. Oh, and thank you very much, Party of One, for the raid. Making it a little more symmetric. Symmetrical is not a word. Symmetrical. That's the wrong use for the word. Whatever. Make it a little more symmetric to make it a little more confusing. I'm just about to branch out, but let's see. I thought it was worth restarting this whole thing. I'm just building it from scratch. I'm going to make it a little simpler than the other one too. Alright, so now we've got the uniform space in here where you will be in. Here, I'm also going to change these walls. Are a different prefab. I'm going to go change these walls to be a different color as well. Alright, now I can get a little less symmetric. Because again, the idea is I want you to be in the room, and when you run out an exit, you've been in here fighting, you've been spinning around. You're not quite sure where you are. There's no real landmarks that are visible. And then I want you to, like, okay, I run to the exit, and then I realize I'm at the wrong exit. But the wrong exit's not going to be horrible or anything. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, Apple Rest, I mean, the other maze is large, and it's really meant to just be a space to conceal lots of creatures in it. Let's see, I try to chart. It gets an instant bar. I'm not sure what it means. Usually glyphs can be charged. Oh, I'll have to go and look. Maybe there's some bad math in there. Now that I fixed the animation problem with it. Yeah, I'll have to go check that. The earthquake was having problems before with charging the time. It had a time calculation on it. I didn't change the time calculation. All I did was make it so the animation doesn't block. But it may be that there's been a bad calculation of the time all along, like the actual casting time, and it was only working reasonably well because the animation was blocking. And this is one of those things people seem to not believe us when it happens, but there's so often things only work because of a bug. And then we fix the bug, and then things break worse. That's honestly where the whole chest snafu came from, the chest privilege stuff. Alright, I think I'm ready to get busy here. Good morning, Alphane. I'll go one more step on making it confusing and uniform. Man, I look old. I was thinking about doing some like Grecian formula or whatever that was. The make your hair look less gray. Cause yeah, look how gray my hair is getting there on the sides. This is mostly just because I woke up and the lighting in here is like there is no lighting. Here, I'll see if I make myself look better. That's just putting a white screen up on my screen, so there's no lights on in the room though. Technically, I am old. I'm over 50. People forget that sometimes, but we have about 6 people on the team that are, or who've been on the team, who are in their early 50s, and they're all plus or minus an age, or a year in age, and it's me and Scotty, Damon, Lord Suttleton, and Lum, when he was here, was also in that same boat. So yes, I am old. Old. Singing might help. How about some maze building? I think some maze building will help. Let's see. So I want this to be... I want good chase stuff here. So my thought was I would build out like there'd be kind of a corridor, like a... not a long maze. Less of a maze and more of a kind of sections of stuff. But I'm going to make a corridor that goes kind of around the whole thing there. My 5-year-old thinks I'm old. That's the thing she always says. So I always tell her, I'm like, go slow, Maxine, Daddy's old. So she's got it in her head that I'm old. Let's see, I'm gonna start mixing it up a little bit here. Alright, so I'm just going to have like one wide passageway that goes all the way around. So I'm going to do 2 layers. I'm going to include some dead ends, but not too many. There we go. I'll make the way to get in from this side a little bit longer because that's on the door side. The other thing I think I'm going to do is I'll probably add in a few invisible or illusionary walls. That feels pretty PvP to me. I could even do illusionary walls. It'd be a pretty small amount of tech to do illusionary walls that turn on over time, so sometimes they're illusionary, some are not. Yeah, in Apple Rust, I'm trying to not make it too difficult to get through these mazes. Again, the thing is you're fighting in them, and they're a good fighting space. I think I got the width about right on them. Make poison stronger. I was actually going to make some... I was humorously thinking I'd call it tartar sauce. That was a poison that would drop, and that would be something that would come out of this section in here. I want to put some consumables in here so it feels like something you could farm. But I was also, there's going to be two of the artifacts that I'm going to finish up that I started. A ring of the satyr and a ring of the fawn. That'll both drop in here off the satyrs. Yes, I agree. Need better poisons. The other thing I was going to do is make it so similar to what you can do right now with the artifacts, is you can take poisons and you can combine them, and there can be like basically you take 4 potions, combine them, and they get double strength, roughly. So you can make tiered potions. Yeah, then it becomes a lot of resource, and that's, I mean, I'm fine with resource sinks as long as it's, it's the extra little bit that you get out of it. Let's see, so if I go 3 wide, that's 3 wide there. And again, what I'm looking for here is not so much a confusing maze, as in you'll get lost in it and never find your way out. I'm looking for a good chase, good space for chasing. So, President of Earth, that's a common question. Why do we not make poisons and heal, and, potions and stuff like that stack or scale with the skill of the person who made it? So the reason for that is they become different things. They start having different attributes. You can imagine you could be an alchemist sitting there like, I'm making 100 potions, just sitting here making my potions, and you level up 2 points of alchemy during that. Well, guess what? You now have 3 stacks of potions that all have different attributes to them. Because if not, they all get combined into one stack. We can't have a stack of like 100 things. When we go, only things that can be instants that are identical can be put into stacks. If we started keeping unique properties per potion that was crafted, they would never stack, which would be annoying as hell. So that's why we have tiered stuff. Now, something we were talking about doing, we've talked about doing for a while that I would totally be up for, is switching to, I think I can do one more here. having a skill that increases the effectiveness that, like, you drinking a potion. So if you have high skill, it makes it so when you drink the potion, you know, the user has a skill that increases it, or a stat. But good question. That's one that comes up quite often. Sometimes there's things you guys ask questions and we're like, it isn't like that because we didn't think of that, or it isn't like that because it's really hard to implement. That one is one there's actually a good logical reason behind it. Let's see. I'm not sure what the next big UI change will be. Again, I'm going to have Wizard Smoke is usually the UI guy until we get scripting in there, so you guys can be the UI guys. But that's one that is adding a bar is always a tough call when we actually allow that, because that like expands usability, it expands like power for players. Again, because that's kind of limiting the number of slots you guys have is one of the ways we control, you know, the fact that you can have every skill in the game. We just don't let you use them all at once. Skeletor Soda, when will we be able to restock it? That's one that has been on B's list for a while now. I know we've talked about it. I think he doesn't see the importance of it from a design aspect. I know it's something you guys want. But again, it's one of those we have to balance the whole, we want you to waste goods. There are people out there who want you to waste goods as well. And that would be, crafting high tier gear that I know you guys want to save and, restock it for when you change things. But that becomes a huge asset content sink, like, pulling stuff out of the economy to not have it. Because it makes you craft whole new things if you really want to change. So again, that's one of those where I try to leave that type of economy stuff up to him. And that's one he's not made I don't think he has a firm opinion on. We've talked about before, and it's kind of one of those, we can give it to you. But then again, it removes how much content gets removed from the game. And that can be a good thing. All depending on who you are. Okay, so we're going to call that the first tier there. Again, not trying to make crazy, confusing stuff that you'll never get through. Just try and give some good chase spaces. And then the other thing is it'll stagger the time it takes for creatures to come in. Night? What? Bedtime? Lame. But anyway, so yeah, the creatures will spawn out here and basically wander towards the middle is kind of how it's going to work. Apple Rest, will you be able to make your own bars? So that's going to be, so step one in adding UI for you guys is going to be all read-only stuff. That's the part that we know is safe. And by that, I mean give you the tools that you need so you can query stats, you can draw stuff to the screen. But as soon as we add the ability for you guys to execute stuff, that's when things have to become, we have to get super, super cautious about things. As soon as we add a Lua script function for you to, play button whatever, then, we could be in for serious trouble, because that becomes now like, hey, guess what? Now, if you wanted to, you could write a Lua script to do, go harvest for you. So that's where we're going to be super cautious on that stuff. If you recall, that's games that have had scriptable UI stuff. Like WoW is the big one that I think everybody got to watch the evolution of their take on it. Is like, yes, you can make scripts that execute buttons for you, and then they just kept changing the rules. And I remember at one point it was, okay, you can execute stuff, but the player has to push a button for at least one button for every skill that gets executed. And then players, basically there's one button, like one button fighter and one button mage and one button rogue and one button, whatever else. And basically people had made it so there's a button and you hit like, your G key over and over and over and over again. And every time you did it, it executed the perfect skill for you. So that's where we've got to be really careful on allowing that type of skill execution. I could see, the stuff that'll come online, like I said, initially is going to be, we want to get it so you can draw stuff to the screen, you can receive mouse button clicks, and you can query data about the game. That's going to be step one. Then step two will be some other stuff. There's some things like, you were talking about vendors or whatever. Yeah, we could easily expose some stuff on vendors for you, adding stuff to vendors to help you simplify things or make your batch whatever. And of course, as soon as you have stuff where you can query stuff, your own stuff, then yeah, somebody 2 days later is going to have a Lua script that you can use that will dump your entire inventory to a text file or a CSV file, and then you can take that, and then now we're going to use that with the vendor stuff. You can have an offline vendor editor that then you log in and you can write a Lua script that does your vendor stuff for you. How to make it work with Soda Assist? Yeah, I'm hoping it will expand on that stuff, but again, what we're trying to do is, I know there's some stuff. I know our UI is probably one of the weakest things. To be honest, some of that is by design. The visuals are by design, that they're weak, which I really don't like, but it's something that's really hard to change at this point without a massive undertaking. And I think you guys would rather have us spend the time doing, new stuff like faction systems and PvP maps and quest chat, UI system type stuff, not UI, but player created dialogue stuff. You guys would rather have us doing that, and you guys can be the ones who can do some of the work to fix up the UI or customize it. Again, what we have is functional. It's just a little clunky and not visually attractive. And that is, we really don't have a UIX guy. That's one of those things that we've never really had an adequate person to do. All right, so now, oops. Let me just hide that stupid light. Yes, I know there's no cutouts there. I'll get it. Again, I'm just building up the channel, and then I'll go delete a few. Do. Nailed it. Okay, so when I said there's going to be a channel again, that's what I was talking about right there. Okay. Now I get to do a little mazing out here. And mazes are like onions because sometimes they make you cry. Let's see, I think I'm going to have... I'll delete a spot there. A little more space there. Life will go on. Whoops. There we go. And again, I'm setting up the outside framework, and then I will come back and remove pieces and build up maze inside of it. Do. Atreon, yeah, I'm a fan of the power-ups. If you recall, if you go through the fall, there's the power-up mushrooms, which of course I think most people, maybe they don't even notice them or whatever, but there's a bunch of power-up mushrooms in there that all have different power-up stuff that's pretty powerful but short duration. I think we did that around the time we were adding all the mushroom stuff to the game, and I thought that was kind of, again, I always throw in these things that I think are funny, and then I think most people don't even notice, but obviously that's like Nintendo, like power-up mushrooms. See? But for us, it was the little mushroom things. Yeah, the duration on those, I mean, they're intentionally pretty short. I forget what they are, but like 30 seconds. Also, I think the fall, there's more getaway times. I think this will be more tight, intense combat. So again, I can go over the high-level stuff for you. Let me go over the high-level plan for this, and then I'll go make some more coffee and come back in a minute. It's time I need to get away from the computer anyways, because it is, Perforce is offline. Goes offline from 4 to 4:15 every morning for some backup stuff. But the plan is, again, there's going to be a center section here. When someone enters this center section, there's going to be several ore nodes that'll spawn right around here. Actually, they'll probably spawn along the walls, just keep them out of combat way. But the entering the center section will start the battle royale when anyone does. So again, other people could be in there and they could trigger it, even though you're just out here trying to harvest or whatever. But then the creatures all spawn kind of in this region and make their way towards the center, so you have time during each wave before the creatures actually get there. After each wave, then there's also perks. We have what they're called perks. Those can be things like a chest that appears. So after wave 1, a chest appears somewhere in the maze. So again, this is something that will be tough to do solo, because then also you're leaving like the center area that's forcing the combat going on. As a team, though, it's also one of those things like, you know, it's easy to grief, because when the chests appear, there'll be competition for them if there's multiple people there. You guys could easily work together as a group, though, do this, you know, drive that stuff, drive the chests appearing, and the chests will get better and better each wave. But then you have to also remember the other people coming in. It's really easy to play spoiler when you're, you know, there's already a challenging PvE combat going on, and you jump in after the fact to screw with people. So again, that's part of why the rewards in here will probably be a little better than some of the other places. Is again, the risk is a little bit more But I'm trying to keep the rewards pretty close. I mean, it's not going to be better than like an upper tiers in terms of stuff, except that it'll be a lot harder. There will be some unique drops. Again, I'm trying to get more consumable stuff that drops in here. That are things that you can come here because I love the consumables or rare consumables that drop. Just because then they're things you can go and farm and they actually have a value, but they still vanish out of the ecosystem pretty quick. But anyway, so yes, so Battle Royale perks will spawn out here. The chest, some type of rewards. Perks can also be ore nodes and stuff. And then again, wave after wave after wave until the top guys are the B15, boss 15. Basically like Spider Queen toughness will probably be the last one. Actually, I may not have him spawn in here just because he spawns over there at the base of the big house is kind of where he's planned on being. So these guys may end up being his bodyguards, which are, again, like among the tougher creatures in the game. They're the ones that also they have looking at things to strategies to make them work. Oh, the other thing that's going to happen is the Kobold generators, if you've seen those from Mysterious Swamp, those are going to be used in here, and those will be something that starts spawning with the waves. And again, that'll be something they will spawn right here in the middle area. So then that also drives some strategies in terms of you got guys, those things spawn in the middle area. The guys are spawning out here. It's going to take them 15 seconds, 20 seconds to get to the middle. You get a chance if you want to try and kill those. You have the opportunity to try and go out and engage the guys, because they're going to have a range that will pretty much cover the center section with some crazy buffs. And each wave, like the final waves, that'll probably be, like by the time you get to the final wave, there'll probably be 4 of them there. So you can imagine 4 of those overlapping buffs on the Battle Royale that's already crazy challenging. But again, there's some strategies there in terms of trying to destroy them before they get there, or destroy one on one side and then try to engage and pull stuff off to the other side for fighting. Because although these look small, these are actually pretty big hallways that you could hold a pretty big fight in. So anyways, that's the short version. I'm going to go get some coffee, and then I'll be back. And I don't think I've done a single giveaway yet. Let me do that. I'll do that as soon as I get back so you guys have time to raffle up. We are doing, this is for the ornate side, so pretty small starting off. But I'll do that as soon as I get back from my coffee. Enter the raffle giveaway, and then I'll do a little bit bigger prize when I get back. And I'm going to stream until about 6:15, 6:30. I plan on having this entire maze out, and I'll be working through the spawn waves, setting up spawns for that. So, and perks by the time I get done. So maze will take about another 30 minutes to finish, if that. Alright, back in a minute, and then we'll do a giveaway. fine, Mojito. All right. Ooh. Okay. Now we can do the drawing. This is for the ornate scythe. President of the Earth. Wait, did he go to bed? I vaguely remember President of the Earth. No, that wasn't President of the Earth who said that. Somebody said they had to go to bed. President of the Earth won the first one. Yeah, I thought he went to bed. That's right, I may just have to draw some menu. Okay, hold on, grumpy dog. I'm looking to see if he's president of the Earth. I don't think he is. Alright, I may just have to draw again. The Mojito cam, the grumpy dog cam. He is so freaking spoiled. Hold on. Why is that camera not actually working? Alright, something's up with that camera. I can't get it to work right now. It's just doing a green bar, which is very odd. Alright, President of the Earth is not President of the Earth. Okay, I'm just going to draw again. He'll never know. Oh, you're right. It may just be that it's dark. Yeah, that cam doesn't handle the darkness as well. Let me pick a different winner. Draken Naruto, I know who you are. Hold on. Bam. Ornate side. There you go. Alright, let me do a different one here. I will do, for the next one... Zombie cats. I'll do a large nightmare statue. That takes a pretty big lot. I'll do a magic saltwater tuna for the next one. I am going to reset the people who've gone on there just because a lot of people have gone to bed. Water tuna. Bam. Okay, now it's open. Okay, let's see. So I've got that. Let me get... I'm getting excited about the music festival. I have to admit, I had no idea who Billie Eilish was. I know. I'm old. I hear the kids love her. Yeah, it's Billie Eilish. Not Eilish. That is just how uncool I am. I don't even know how to say it. Oh, that's right. So I already have the channel there. Let me... Draken Naruto. Yes, I did that to both people who got those. I didn't realize that the fish statues are no trade. Let me take care of that right now. So I did the usual thing, which is it'll let you drag a no trade item to your email. Speaking of some things that are clunky and need to be fixed. So it'll let me drag. Here, I'll demonstrate. I need to hang some pictures up on this wall if I'm going to stand here staring at it all the time. I think you got a Gar. Yeah, so here's the things I did the usual do. Oh, that's right, I unmarked these. So yeah, they're no trade when they come out, they're heritage. I unheritaged them. Yeah, because they're no trade, they let you drag them, but then they just don't show up in the thing. So I just did your name, grats, drag it over, click send. And I did that to 2 people, which means I didn't give you guys anything. So you just got an empty email saying grats. Grats on nothing. But anyways, I just sent that to you. And those are tradable, so you get special ones that are tradable. I know. Can we allow pay to win for you on your game? I mean, there's kind of pay to win in that you can, like, there's guys you can help to train you, like I know Mac and some other guys. Not to pimp anybody, but Alphane will help you. I mean, I think he does it without pay if you want to learn how to be better. So the pay part is you can go and get someone to help train you. How about that? Alright, now I gotta fill out this space. I'm gonna have, let's see, we got the entrances there and there. So I think having a space entrance up here and making it the sucker's entrance is not a horrible idea. Oops. Still watching my character at the mailbox. Yes, yes you are. There you go. So we'll call this the sucker's entrance here. Actually, we'll do something a little different. You can come in the sucker's entrance, but you got to run the slalom. There you go. Again, the thing I'm looking at this space for is I'm trying to make sure the space feels like a place where you can PvP and have opportunities to both escape and also to chase. Do 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 do. Sorry, I got the Billie Eilish song in my head now. I gotta say, Casey Musgraves is actually one of the ones I'm excited to see. I'm not really a country person, but just I've been making myself listen to tons and tons of bands, and she just has a lot of songs that I enjoy, whether it's guilty pleasure enjoy or not, I'm not sure, but I've really enjoyed listening to her stuff lately. I need to add her to my laminated list as well. The laminated list of celebrities you're allowed to hook up with if you run into them. Get the wife to sign off on it. Need some angles other than 90. So I thought about doing that. I can do, I mean, that's not that tough of a thing to do. The thing I had thought about doing was taking this same wall chunk. And again, here's another thing to keep in mind is, like, I'm putting these mazes out here. You guys see that I can make one of these mazes in about 2 hours. I could totally change it up for the maze for next release as well. And do something like that. Do something where there's a an angle piece. But yeah, just doing, basically put a column around column at each corner and then changing it up to not be straight. We're gonna go with this today because I want to have this live. But yeah, that's something I could totally do in an upcoming update. Just completely change out the maze. Leave the general space the same, but then make things so everything's on a 45 degree. Some pieces are 45, some pieces are 90. Do 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 do. Come on. There we go. And I'm sure none of you are in Austin, but if anybody's going out to ACL Fest, feel free to let me know and I'll gladly meet up with you. You can even talk about the game. Just don't talk to me about bugs or wanting a change to a crafting system thing. You can talk to me about bugs if you buy me a beer. One beer per bug. Seems like a fair price. Now let's see, so we got the entrance up there that's kind of sucker's entrance. We'll put entrance here. There's the entrance over there already. Oh, we got to do the one over there. I'm going to do something kind of interesting with this space. I'm going to leave it fairly open. And just put up some roadblocks and stuff to hide behind. Again, I'm thinking about this for PvP. Having just places you can hide behind. Of course, now I need to go back and fix. Apparently when I fixed, finger quotes around the fixed, the dots, when you take cover, I apparently made it worse. So I've got to go really fix that here sometime soon. The wife is up. The wife gets up at 4. All right. Apple rust. Yes, I actually said that solar flare is going to get a dot. I'm going to do a little balance on the damage it does, but it's that if you are sun spec, it'll have a dot that goes along with it. Oh, and I have exciting news. I know this is super exciting news for all of you. We caught frogs. There were frogs at the pool, at our neighborhood pool. The pool is still open, but they're only doing chlorine once a week. And apparently the water got friendly enough for frogs that the frogs got friendly and laid some eggs in the pool. We found one set which I took to Maxine's kindergarten class, and I set up an aquarium for them because I'm that kind of dad, so they can watch the frog eggs grow. Well, we went back the next day and we caught 2 big frogs in there, like a giant tiger frog. or not tiger, leopard frogs. And they had laid some eggs, so I scooped up their eggs. I helped them out of the pool. Thanked them for their time. And, but their eggs, I've got them in an aquarium here at home. And their eggs are actually starting to change shapes and grow, so we can actually see that they're about to break out and be tadpoles, which is awesome. It's not many science things cooler than some good old metamorphosis. Alright, I think that's probably good. Again, the back area, if you're willing to run all the way back there, it's just kind of a battlefield. Kind of think of that as a paintball field. There's your paintball field is at the back. Hold on, Travis is up. Said his editor's been crunching for 3+ hours. I just told him apple rust. No guarantee he's going to do it, but I told him. Okay, so now we got kind of that thing going on. So I guess now one of the things I need to do is go and let me do the... Got to regenerate a nav mesh for it. Step one is I got to check that thing out by hand because it's clunky. And then we need to snap and snap and then generate. And wait for it. You guys can't see it, but there's a dialog up there of it rebuilding the nav mesh. I'm sure it's all going to be perfect and glorious the very first time. Alright, let's see. What does it look like? Bam. Alright. That's good. It looks like it's got one contiguous mesh that runs from here all the way over to the other one. Not that things will go that far, but... Alright, I'm going to get a few more dialogues here I got to wait for. And then I'm going to start working on the wave spawner. The skeleton are not spawning. I can go look at that. I had Brass Knuckles was giving me some feedback I kept meaning to go look into, but I'll go look. The cave area. Huh. Yeah, I can go look at that. Nothing's changed. Yeah, I'm not sure what would have changed down there. That's weird. I know I haven't touched it. First clear's okay, and then it sticks. Alright. Cypher 1 Black, yes, you may be correct. We may have fixed something. That is why I never fix anything. Okay, well anyways, that feels more like a PvP mazy type thing to me than the other one did. The other one felt more like a maze that didn't have great fighting spaces. This one feels a little better. So now I gotta work on the wave spawners. Okay. I'm gonna have to go look into the perk stuff. Alright, let's see. So now I've got to move these guys out and find good spaces for them to spawn. Lich random. Yeah, I never renamed a lot of these things. Alright, let me set up a few more waypoints here and then I can get busy. I guess I'll go ahead and fix their names while I'm here. Let's see, WP Satyr, BR Satyr 1. Alright, so that's 5. We'll do a total of 10 different waypoints. That's good enough. Okay, so now we gotta set This is where it gets super tedious, by the way. Let's see. Alright, now to put these at a decent spot. And these are the waypoints for their pathing in. I have a couple. Oops. Start up there for some of the bigger dudes. Okay, and so now I can go and do let's start these guys off easy. Oops. Alright, so there's wave 1 defined. Now I do need to get that set up to the new center that I'm using. Gotta make sure it covers that whole area. And that'll be the trigger that actually sets that stuff off. Okay, so that looks good. Skeleton work is still on my list of things to do. I've been tempted to get Beezus or Sanyu or somebody to start trying to help me with some of these crazy things I want to do and see if they have they can start helping with some skill stuff, but everybody's busy. Okay, let's see. So the way this works is you're defining waves of stuff. And then there's spawners that basically spawn and get on a waypoint. And I think I did that totally wrong. Come on. Having to define again, this I mentioned this is the tedious part, right? Okay, so wave 1 is set up now. That's just going to be 3 tier 8 guys. Whoa. So they will spawn and they will path using the nav mesh to the center. Easy, right? So again, that's wave 1. Now wave 2. Let's see, so take that guy. I think we're gonna have... Oh, we'll double up to 6 on the second one. We'll have them start in pairs. Some greater demons in there. So the high tier satyrs that I've been making, that I've been talking about, that's one thing that's been eating up a lot of time, is making some new skills for them. Trying to make sure they're not just a visual variant that, oh look, this one's taller and has more health and more strength. But I've been working on some special abilities. I'm doubtful that's going to make it for this release. This morning I'm going to do a build at 10 o'clock, and that'll be the last full integration we do. Then after that, we'll continue doing patches, but the patches will be one-off where we integrate the change list one at a time, which gets tedious, and I do it, so I don't like doing it. Alright, so that's waypoint 3 set. But I'm working on their special stuff. But they do have, the boss dude has summons where he will pull you to him, teleport you to him. That'll be something that'll be coming up in a number of bosses. I just mentioned that in terms of the greater demon because he has teleport stuff of his own. So that's 4. The one I've been working on is I've still got some more code to write for some of these things. But the one I've been working on is he has a teleport that when he starts getting low health, some things in Rage, we've got multiple states where we can like trigger new things, but when he gets low health, he will start teleporting players away from him. And again, keep in mind that he stands in the middle of a maze, and he will teleport you away, and it can go through walls. The thing I'm working on also that I'm going to try with him, again, I'll have all these things working for 71 for sure, but the thing I'm going to try with him is instead he does like a troll boot, but he does a high kick you up in the air type thing, so you basically fly through the air and land somewhere else in the maze. And again, that's what he does when he gets to critically low health, as he starts trying to disperse the crowd, is basically the short version. Because of course you guys know if he can get it to a point where he does not have anyone directly engaged with him for some amount of time, it'll go into a higher health mode. Higher health regen mode, that is. Alright, so that's 2. Step those up to T10. Okay, so that's 2 waves done. Do. Hold on, chatting with the list, because yes, of course he's up. Alright, let's see. So wave 4. So we got that wave done, right? Did we do that wave? We didn't do that wave. We did part of that wave. Yeah, this is still set to all zombies. Okay, so this is going to be 3, 3, and 3. So I got to go set the positions on these guys. And I'll do 3. That is not going to work. One, 2, 3. One, It's as tedious as it looks, folks. 2 and 3. And by putting them at different places like this, what it will force them to do is they will wander in at different times. So rather than all being, they come in exactly the same time. So you get like a little bit of time to deal with the previous guys. Not a ton, but a little bit. All right, and so that is 1. Got it. And this is me assigning all of the ways for them to get in, the patrol path to get in. I put them in waves of 3 to make this a little easier for me. Alright, so now they got those 3. So we got 3 waves of, or 3 groups of 3 that'll come in for wave 3. So now I can go and make each one of these a set of 3 guys. And they will be satyrs. And we're going to bump these guys up to tier 10. So that's the caster. We'll have 1 caster, 1 melee, and 1 ranged in each group. Okay, so 3 waves done. And list, if you want to make a new trophy, like just dupe the old one, I'm going to do a build at about 10 o'clock this morning where I will integrate everything over. So if you want to make a new trophy form that has something cool or new about it, feel free to do that, and it'll get in for a build later today. Oh, that's right, you're stuck at 70% crunching. List will take care of those cloaks for you, right, List? Okay, so we got 3 waves. So before I get any further into this, let me first save, which will then pull up a bunch of dialogues. But I'm going to go try the first 3. See how they're doing. Oh, hey, puppy dog. Oh, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. That means I need to do a giveaway. This is a giveaway for the magic saltwater tuna changer. So you guys should raffle up. Raffle, 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 raffle. Raffle, raffle. Raffle, raffle. Oh, I know what happened there. Hold on, I gotta go make a code change. Hold on. Ready for a bit of a boring moment here. Not that that's any different than the rest of the stream. Oh, I was gonna do the raffle. I'll do that while I wait for this. Here we go. Closing the winner, the giveaway, picking the winner. Bam. Famines. Yes, famines. Well deserved. Who needs a special fishing thing more than fans? Oh, the dog wants out. Ooh. Hold on, letting the dog out. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who? Okay, I just sent you the trophy. Famines is also waiting. Oh crap! And I gotta give prizes for the last 2 prizing. Oh man. I gotta go figure out how to do that. I'll get Undone to show me again. There we go. And you guys can't see it, but I have a big dialogue up on my screen. I've got to fix some IDs. A bunch. Yeah. Oh, man. Alright, I'll try and figure that out later today. Yeah, I'm 2 Fridays behind, and I know you guys want those. Oh, I see. That's why you're saying take care of him. Change the mounted Razorback trophy. Y'all have to look at that. I'm waiting for my rewards from the R61 purchase at the store. What thing you missing? Thank you, Fakan. I mean, like the R61 rewards? Um. All right, I know who you are then. Yeah, I remember the email. I didn't realize that was you. Let me go. Well, I can't because I'm waiting on this, but I was going to say I can try and deal with that right now. There's just a bundle we have to give you. I can do it in-game rather than do it here. A friend of mine on Facebook has a meme off. He has a meme Friday. Every Friday, everybody posts their memes that they found from the week, and we're not talking like a small thing. Like there's like 2,000 memes posted by the end of it. So basically, a Facebook thread that has 2,000 posts to it, 2,000 replies. But the one I posted was definitely like I saw, and I was like, oh, this is absolutely true. But it was something to the effect of being an adult is just telling yourself every week that it'll calm down or things will slow down next week for the rest of your life until you die. So anyways, so things will slow down next week. All right, bud. Get in your bed. That felt very on topic for me. Bonger, stop it. I can't do anything right now. Waiting on my editor. Still waiting. You guys can see the cursor go to a little ball. A little please wait for me ball. And we'll see how far I get in this one. I may just get something in for now. I may end up not making this space PvP for now, just leaving it open to everybody so I can get some testing on it. And then finish up next week where I actually do the PvP stuff because I'm still missing a little bit of tech. Lists, I can't because I'm waiting on a big dialogue. I had 255 NPC location IDs to resolve. Oh look, you asked me in company chat. So I'm waiting for this to resolve, and I got to resolve 84 game entities, and then I'll look it up. Yeah, Applerus, if you show it to him in world, he can mouse over it and get the path to it and dupe it for you. Or if you just Applerus, if you just hand him one, he can right click on it and dupe it for you. Just hand him stuff and he'll dupe everything for you. Yeah, Liz, just have him add it to chat or whatever, or hand it to you. Yeah, he should be able to mouse over it, and maybe it's the list, maybe there's the Control Shift or Control Alt or Shift Alt. I forget what the special thing is to show you the full detail on it. My hand knows it. That's one of those crazy things that is absolutely true, is my hand knows what the key is, but my brain does not know what the key is. Can I dupe a castle lot deed? Yep. If you want me to, I'll do it on stream and then destroy it right before your eyes. Alright, this is getting close to done. Alright, 84 game entities. There we go, that one went quick. Okay, so I think I'm actually caught up on that. Okay. Verify one more time. Let me do a save project just for sanity. And a force refresh just for sanity. And now let's go play. Oh wait, I turned off that light. Crud. I'll turn that light back on. That one right there. I'm stuck. I can't do anything, but in a minute I'll be able to turn it on. So in this space here, just to continue talking through it some more. Oh, and thank you, Fakan. Thank you, Fakan. But I'll probably have 6 waves that get tougher and tougher. This is not where I want to be. Oh look, it's Lord Talisk Nerd. Alright, here's the new combat space. Here's the space I just created this morning. Again, think of this for PvP. Of course, you guys in PvP always move like twice as fast as what I'm moving here. Little combat space. Yeah, that's more appropriate for how fast you guys move. Oh, and this should be like the channel, I guess? Yeah, so this is kind of the channel around the outside, the intersection. Then down here is kind of the open PvP, just walls and stuff to hide around. That I thought would make a little bit of a interesting PvP space. Yeah, unlike the other one, there's no center tall thing. Whoops. To help give you guidance on how to get there or where the center is. There we go. So now I'm in the middle. Okay. This is where I would expect things to start spawning in. Right about now. Yep. See that there's some guys out there. Just don't know where they are. So that dude's just kind of standing there and not walking his path. He should be walking his path towards the middle. I guess the other guys are doing similar things. Yep, there's another one. Let's see, did I not set waypoints for them? I did. Did I get error messages about why they didn't start wandering in? I don't see it. Yeah, so here he is, but he's not wandering towards the middle. Alright, well this is the part where it gets even more tedious and boring for you guys to watch. Because now I gotta like debug this crap. Let's see, let me just try this real quick. Yeah, so I'm confused why those guys that nav it should path there. I guess just for a quick test. I was pretty darn sure. Oops. I didn't have to set these things up exactly to wander through there. But I'm going to test to see. Maybe that fixes it. Maybe one more. All right, let's see. Did I ever do the drawing? I didn't do the drawing, did I? Oh no, I did. Famines. That's right. I need to put up a new prize. That's what I'm missing. All right, and this will be the last prize of the morning, so I'll do something fairly cool. Let's see. Ooh. You guys, of course, can't see. Let me put that up there. There we go. How about we'll do the Grim Reaper mask and a Grim Reaper statue. What? We're going all Grim Reaper themed today. We did the scythe is the first thing we had. Alright, hold on. All right, now you can do it. Okay, let's see. So if this is the problem, now one dude will spawn in. Well, they'll all spawn in. One dude will walk to the middle. They're all spawning before is kind of the thing that's confusing me. Spawning but not walking. Did I mention this is tedious? Alright, got it. Oh, I forgot to turn the light on again. Yeah, so there's that sorry bastard that should be walking in on that path. And he is not doing anything. Let me make sure this is all getting translated in. So his nav controller's getting turned off. I'm wondering if that's a distance thing. That he just stops navving because he's too far away from me. So I guess if that's the case, waiting for it, waiting for it. Wander radius, idle time, all those things look fine. Yeah, the fact that he had some things turned off tells me that I think that's a that's an AI thing of it disabling stuff, because we have some logic in there. I'm gonna have to do some more looking into that, which is annoying. But I can go verify. But let's see if I go down to that guy there. Let me go do that. Oh, look, when I got closer to him, look what he's doing. You can actually see his nav path there. Okay, so it is freaking distance thing. God. Now I've got to go figure those things out. We need better ways to override. Right now there's just a hard-coded number unless you use a special controller to spawn them. See, isn't that cool? You can see his the nav, the path he's picking to get me to me. Okay, well I gotta go solve that problem next. I guess is my next big challenge. So some point soon here I'm gonna have to wrap up and call it a morning. I may have to admit defeat on the PvP before the weekend thing and just have it wait until next weekend. Based on these problems. At least I did confirm I don't actually have to set up these nav paths like that. Alright, let me go and check. I'm going to have to go look at... Spawn AI and awareness. I need to go look at the awareness stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to be digging into code here pretty quick. So let me go and answer some questions for you guys, and then I'm going to call it a morning, because I got to get Maxine up. She gets up around 6. And I have to go to school this morning because I have to go feed some tadpoles. Capture the tadpoles, put them in a aquarium for school experiment stuff. Not experiment. Sounds like they're going to dissect them or something. Alphane, are all the skill combined combos hit only one target? Or hit only one targets only? So many of them were. That was not intentional. I think that's just how we did things in the old days. I've been going back and expanding those. If you know of one in particular, I did just change like Glacial Glissade. I know was one I just changed here recently. If you have one in particular that you're thinking of that only hits one, let me know. And I will go and address that now. Alphane, the skeleton's not spawning in. I will look at. Will Solar Flare have a dot? People seem to want it to have a dot. Apple Rust, can you please keep the Satyr Marksman Assassin? Pretty sure I fixed that. Tell me I fixed that. Okay. Nope. Still wrong on that one. Oh, you know what? I fixed the T15 one, but not the T12. Ah, god dang it. So much data. Alright, I'm checking that one in now. Most of the melee targets. Okay, so I can go through and look for them. I'm trying to think if I have a good way to sort them. But yeah, I can go fix those up right now. Alphane, most of them should hit more like what the other stuff in there hit, like the Glacial Glissade now hits 4. Waiting on a dialogue that you guys can't see. So let me fix the Assassin, get that submitted. Wow. It's taking a long time. And then once I have that fixed, then I'll go and fix the single target stuff, and I'll get that in for the build this morning. And then I can get back to, I've got to do some more work here on this. Scoffer 25, have you done any more work on the mining area in Tartarus? I have not, or Tartarus, I have not. It is still, I need to turn on the slimes that are supposed to be in there, the slimes and the assassin imps, not assassin. But the assassin imps and the slimes. The slimes are going to be metal slimes, for those who didn't know. And I've updated the metal slime loot bundle to include, guess what? Metal. So it'll contain some of the rare metals. If you have fought a metal slime or a death metal slime, then you know they are freaking painful. Alright, finally dialogue finished up. Let me get the typo fixed up for the assassin. Fixing a name typo. And then you said, let's see, Splinter Strike. So Splintering Strike should, again, that's one of the older ones that has not been touched. I just need to spend a release and just go and clean up some of those things. Yeah, it looks like it does damage. And stat. Debuffs damage resist, yes. So the good news is that will now hit 4, not 1. The damage resist is skill level, that's not very much. Let me at least verify that it stacks. It does not stack. Okay, so here's the change that's coming up for that. Just from a quick look at it, this needs a lot of love, just like many of the old combos. But the Splintering Strike will now hit 4 people, and it will stack the damage resist debuff 3 times. So if you have, 100-ish skill, 120-ish skill, it'll debuff damage resist -9 up to 3 times. They think it's very much Alphane. Antrax, I don't know where you've been, Slacker. I've been working since like 6 a.m. your time. And Antrax, I am up trying to get your PvP section going. But I don't think I'm gonna, we'll see. I may get it done this morning. Working on the Battle Royale and some of the stuff, and I'm running into some problems having a Battle Royale that has such a widespread group of things. We have to go do some AI changes. But I was fixing up some combos because that's going to take some code work. And I don't like doing code work on camera because I'm not going to show you the code. And if I don't, then you just look at a screen that doesn't change for long periods of time with me not talking because I have to pay attention. All right, Splintering Strike going in. Let me submit that the other way. Again, Splintering Strike will now stack up to 3 times, stack the debuff that's on it up to 3 times, and each the damage and the debuff will hit up to 4 targets. All right. Dave Dude M, you sorting out the 3 trees outside my house? Where's your house, Dave Dude M? I will come take care of your trees right now. I had somebody yesterday had trees in Soul Town that were causing problems. I'm assuming you're not the same person. Take a look at some more. Oh, you are Cleo. Then yes. Yes, those will be in the patch. I'm going to kick off the build about 10 a.m. this morning. That means it'll be ready about 5 p.m. or so. So hopefully I'll be able to publish it tonight. Alright, and Sawblade Sweep already hits people. 3 people. And 3 people. Alright, so that one's pretty close. Scoffer, the metal slimes can be killed with melee. They are agonizing. They hit really hard. And I'm trying to remember what their defense situation's like. The death metal slimes are even tougher. They don't, they're immune to death magic, and I think they're more immune to other magic. The ransom system needs a lot of love. That's one of those things that we've talked about as to how to deal with it. And a couple of things is like, if you get ransom, right now we don't really track ransom. Once you get the ransom, we track it. It's only on the server side, and it's not in a very easy to access or change ways from data side things. So we need to turn that into a system that's a little more, rather than it being escrow based, is kind of what we call that type of stuff, is when it's stuff is in escrow, but we don't really track it in the proper way. We need to change that up so we can track it, because what I would really love to have is, if you have ransoms and you have not, if you leave the scene within 5 minutes, that you don't get those ransoms. You only get the ransoms if you stay in the scene for 5 minutes. And then also change that so if you are still in the scene and have ransoms, other people ransoms, that you will get, and somebody kills you, that the other person will get half of whatever ransoms you have. So basically it can be a trading those things around. But if you've seen the interface and you think about how that stuff works, that gets really complicated quick in terms of ransoms for people. Because now, like, I may have a ransom that I got from Anthrax, because I could totally kill you in a fair fight. And thank you, Alphane, and also 5 times thank you for Kenneth123. Thank you for starting the morning off right for me. But then, like, somebody kills me, and now I've got one of your ransoms, they've got one of your ransoms. Like, imagine that whole thing, and like the ransom interface of paying to get your ransoms back, and it gets crazy. So again, there's a lot of cool ideas, but they usually start running into issues when you start getting into the how do we actually implement this and not make it crazy confusing to players. Alright, so let's see. So saw blade sweep, that's all done. I didn't really need things. I'm gonna go back over here. Okay. And thank you, Antrix. Oh, and Kenneth123, this is the PvP section over here. That's the other side. This is the PvP maze. I actually redid this to make it something that I felt was a little more PvP friendly and fun, and was a little more aimed towards the idea that this is going to be a section that is, there's a huge wave battle that'll basically, I've defined 3 of the waves now, but I'd plan on having 6 waves before it gets into the boss level stuff, and then after the 6 waves, then it's going to have 4 more waves. So it'll be a 10-wave battle where it gets into the boss wave. The last 4 waves also include energy devices, like what's used in Mysterious Swamp, where there's basically, they will just appear in the middle, and those are things that they apply a buff that anybody who gets near. So basically they will appear in this middle section. And so that's, then you also have the choice of lots of choices. One is, do we try and kill those before stuff gets in there? Do we try to move away from the center section and engage different groups at different times outside? So it adds a little bit of a choice and a strategy to things by having those in there. If you've seen those before, they add some crazy stats to things like super high regen, or super high magic resist, or super high damage resist, or super berserk mode. And Scoffer You can kill metal slimes with physical. It's just going to be hard, but honestly, imagine fighting metal slimes in hallways like this with ranged weapon as well. It's not going to be easy for anybody, which is also why I'm going to be bumping up the ore nodes that are in here. Not just in number, which I've already added some to it, but I'm going to be upping their respawn times. This is the mine section for the bottom area. Alright, let's see. So I got about 10 minutes left here, so I'll do prizing in 10 minutes. So make sure you've raffled up if you want to get in on the prizing. If you are a stranger who has somehow wandered into my stream and knows nothing about our game, this is Shroud of the Avatar. I'm just doing some dev work on it while some of the players watch and give me feedback on things and tell me bugs and stuff. Yeah, we do. I mean, we're not completely open development, but we try to talk to the players and implement stuff that they want and show them and explain why some things are being done and how stuff works. So definitely getting to see some of that this morning. I am not in the EU or Europe. I am in America. I just get up stupid early, trying to fit my life schedule around a 5-year-old. That is the thing that is more important than the game to me. So but also you don't need to subscribe to get in on these raffles. You just have to follow. So if you're not a follower, just do a follow and you can then do a raffle and join in. And again, for those who missed it just a minute ago, the situation right now is I've got to go modify some AI because I've got this space large enough. Again, this is a pretty large space in here, larger than it appears probably, that the AIs are deactivating and not walking to the center control point, which does not make a very good control point if the guys just stand around on the outside and stare at you. So I'll be fixing that, but I'll probably have to do, again, I've got to do a little bit of code work, which I don't like doing on camera. Shield combos need love. I absolutely believe it. So for Tartarus, just because I did so much with it this week, next release is just going to be polishing and improving what's here, adding in like some. Again, this is not what I intend this to look like forever. This is what got done quick, and I'm going to go back and add in some stuff like things hanging on the walls to give more hints as to what's going on in this space. God dang it, I keep forgetting to turn that stupid light back on. But yeah, so doing that type of polish work and then also more loot work. I'll be adding in more artifacts in here. I'm planning on getting the Ring of the Fawn and the Ring of the Satyr both live this release. That will go on the Satyrs down here. Up the Metal Slimes loot bundle so it includes some other stuff. Some metals. Alright, I have no idea where I am, but this is one of the little corridor hallway things, so I'm going to guess this is leading me right to the middle. Yeah. But the problem is this area is big enough that those guys are far enough away that they're not walking towards the middle. Oh, so we'll see. I may be able to get this done today for a weekend build. If not, I am at the music festival Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to try to sleep in. I really just can't sleep in. I wish I could, but I can't. So I may get some work done tomorrow morning and Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And continue pushing out builds. It just gets problematic of doing stuff and then getting a build. And then I'm also the guy who's going to publish the build. Atreon, yeah, that's... So the goal is always to try and make sure the artifacts do something a little different than what you guys can do for slottable stuff. I know that's not always the case. But again, trying to make them feel different and unique, but not be OP. So definitely some challenges. But I think a lot of the artifact stuff, it is, again, it gets us closer to the loop that all games should have. All games that have some loot involved in them, at least, which is go out and adventure for a couple hours with your party, and somebody in there gets an upgrade or gets something that makes them feel special, feel like they've had something rewarded. Right now, we do a poor job of that. Artifacts are one of the puzzle pieces for fixing that and improving that, so not the only one. But Beezus is working on the other stuff. And yes, sleep is overrated. I mean, they keep doing all the studies of people and finding that some people need less sleep. Unfortunately, I think what those studies are also showing is those people who need less sleep still suffer from the side effects of low sleep, getting too little sleep, like early dementia and stuff like that. Hey, a guy walked in here. Oh, he blinked. Did you see him? Yeah, oh, he's gonna totally kill me. I think I may be like level 10 or something. I got 600 hit points. I have no skills set up, of course. This is just in the editor. Did I win? Am I killing him? All right. Still no quotas for reward program. That is surprising. You would not get those yet. I will mention that to that other guy, though. Wizard Smokey was the guy that was working on that stuff. No place to res, Cypher Black. You are not allowed to res in our dungeons. Yeah, I'll do that. Actually, it's something I can do right now. I'm not going to do it right now because right now I need to do pricing and then send you guys off to another stream. Because I have to go get a baby up because she gets up at 6. Speaking of people who don't get enough sleep. We get her to bed by 7 and she gets up at 6, but she doesn't get a nap at school. But every day she has to write her. She has a calendar and she has to write her mood. And she started writing these circles. It was like a face, but instead of a smiley face, it was a circle mouth. And she told us that was her yawning. And that's what she does every day is yawn. The teacher actually had her start keeping count of how many times she yawned on a spread or on a piece of paper. So we'd think 11 hours, but I guess we're moving up towards 12 hours. Yes, Atreon, plus 160 attunement is crazy. That is actually, for those who saw it, there were a few bugs reported of my whatever spell used to give me plus 40. Now it only gives me plus 38. That was due to the attunement change. That basically attunement used to be a linear thing, a POW 1 thing. Actually, it was a number plus a number divided by a number, POW 1. So that has been changed to be POW 0.98. I know that sounds small, but that's, again, continuing to try to nudge things in the right direction. That way, I can next release, maybe it'll change down to 0.97. But that is basically, again, looking at the curve for attunement, where it is right now, it was pretty linear and kind of a slanted line that starts up. But anyways, but this moves it to be a little bit of a downward curve, so that when you get up into the extremes, you get up to like a 300 attunement or something like that. That is, it doesn't hurt you. Like if you have attunement 100, you probably didn't even notice. It's microscopic change. It's like less than 1%. But if you have a 300 attunement, this change lowered it 2 to 3% is the overall effect. So again, it's kind of tapering that off. But anyways, that change went in this release. I forgot to patch note it because I thought that went in last release. Sorry. Let me do the thing that I was saying I was gonna do. Put that guy down there. One in there. One there. Okay. More onks. Yeah, and party one, that's another thing. There's some people think there's some imbalanced stuff in the magic. The real problem is that many of the creatures still need to have some magic resistance that scales up with their power. That is basically to counter the attunement that people have as they get a higher level. But right now, a lot of stuff just has 0 resistance across the board. And Exodor Valdemus, that is absolutely my goal, is to try and balance, let you guys play any play style you want. Ranged, cast, or whatever. And even down to the trying to get it so you can be effective using any single school, and that no one school is more powerful, at least without side effects. Like for instance, death magic is one of those that's powerful, but for it to be powerful, you gotta plan around it, you gotta play around it, you gotta work with low life and other stuff for it to be truly effective. And you gotta work at it too. So, but let's do our drawing. Sheldon Cooper needs a nerd. Sure that's not nerf? Nerd is good too. It's easier to find a nerd than a nerf. Alright, make sure you're all raffled up. Looks like you guys are. Death Shield is the one that I actually have the change. That is basically gonna make it roughly half as effective. The way Death Shield works now is if you got hit for 100 points of damage and you had a Death Shield that stopped 50% of it or whatever, or 40%, it will take 40% off the damage and then it'll give 40% of the health to you. So basically it doubles up the effectiveness. So it really takes off, if you have 40%, it takes off 80% of the damage. So that will be shifting to be, it will give you, but not stop the damage. So it cuts it in half. But I'm going to be looking at some other stuff as well for it. But I did not put that live because that's going to be another rage item. Nightmare needs a nerf. Nightmare's going to be getting some decent rewards. It's got the Nightmare Fuel and the Nightmare's Bane. That basically gives you a flaming weapon that'll stack with another flaming weapon. Both consumables that'll drop off of the Nightmare Fuel causes confusion, but then the confusion wears off after about 15 seconds, and then you're left with a buff that lasts for a couple minutes. Alright, let's do this thing. Closed giveaway. Pick the winner. Thank you, Fakan. See, you won something. You don't need those rewards or prizes or whatever. I don't know your in-game name. No, it's not Lesney. It's not T-Worrell. All right. Well, I've got to have it because his name is Teoral. All right. Well, maybe I can look at getting him those R61 rewards before I send this out. Again, guys, thank you for joining me this morning. I'm going to try to get a few more of these things fixed up for the release. I'm going to kick off a patch maybe 9 o'clock this morning, 10 o'clock this morning for a release later this evening. It'll have a couple of the fixes I just put in, a few other things. And let's see. Oh. Hold on. Add, no, remove, no. Why didn't that go over? There we go. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Thanks for the feedback. I hope you liked what you saw. I'm just hoping I can get it live. It'll be tight to get it live today. I think I'd already said I was going to do it next week, but I'll see what I can get done today, and maybe it can get live. But let's go find. Is there anybody even streaming at this time of the morning? Surely somebody's streaming. Yeah, we got a couple of people. We got Lovely Vivid, Crispy Car. We got Party of One. So we got 2 people in there. I'll just do a random roll. Roll 2. Got a 1, so that's going to be, was that Lovely Vivid. Unless, Party 1, are you here? Is that Party 1? I can raid you. I don't think Lovely Vivid is in here. Whoop. Alright, well, no speaking up there. Oh, yeah, that is you. Okay. Alright, if you'll make good use of these people. Pretty small crowd. It's morning. Well, you're getting the raid, though, good sir. So, again, guys, thank you so much. I will try and get your Teoral. I'll try and get your stuff sent over to you this morning for R61 stuff, along with a Grieper mask and statue that you just won. And guys, I will see you again maybe tomorrow morning, maybe some this weekend, early in the morning. But again, I'm out for a music festival all weekend. So I will see you next time, and thanks for stopping by. See ya.